So because we as a society collectively decided that we didn't want to do this, vertical video is now here to stay. But whether you're looking to start as a social-first content creator or a working influencer, or maybe you're a social media coordinator forced to make viral content for your corporate overlords, there are ways to lean into the limitations of this format to create engaging content that grabs an audience's attention and causes them to stick around to the end of the reel or the short or the TikTok. But I do want to preface this by saying that this is not a marketing tutorial, because we don't know the demographics that you're aiming to reach, but we do know some things about video and we'd love to share some pointers, starting with content. So right off top, think about what type of content you want to be creating. Are you looking to be a paid influencer? Are you looking to make comedy reels? Are you looking to make educational content? Are you doing a video podcast? Are you committed to vertical first content, or is this horizontal first content and you want to pull vertical clips for social media promotion? You want to start with this because this is going to influence everything else. So get specific on what your goals are for your content first. Next up, you want to think about what device you're going to be shooting your content on, starting with smartphones. Now, smartphones are obviously the best for convenience and native support within the social media apps, and in fact, many apps do actually algorithmically favor content shot and edited in-app as opposed to importing video from someplace else. And also, they're the lowest barrier to entry. You almost certainly already have a phone that is capable of shooting video for the content you want to make. So honestly, the only real downside to shooting with your smartphone is that your content might not stand out as much as it would if you were shooting on a dedicated mirrorless camera. And speaking of that, your next option would be to get a dedicated mirrorless camera and just shoot it vertically. Now, right off the bat, this is going to give you much better image quality and it's really going to make your content stand out. But if you don't already have one, it's going to be much more expensive of an investment, it's more time consuming to set up, and it will look better, but I have encountered it before where you kind of overshoot and it might look so good that it actually reads as an advertisement at first if someone is just quickly scrolling, and they might scroll past it because it looks too well produced. So TLDR, your mirrorless camera is going to look better than your smartphone and it's going to really make your content stand out more, but it's more expensive and it might almost be too overproduced for the content you're trying to make. But there's another option, which is to get a mirrorless camera that's capable of shooting open gate. Now, not every camera can do this. And OpenGate itself is a totally other can of worms. In fact, our very own Doug from B&H is making a video explaining all about why you'd want to shoot OpenGate. But a very succinct summary would be that OpenGate allows you to shoot more vertical resolution out of your camera's sensor. So it means you can more easily be shooting horizontal content and then pull vertical content without having to crop really, really far in, because you want to avoid that if you're shooting on a mirrorless camera. Now, once again, this is more expensive. You'll have to buy a camera that can do this, but it is definitely cheaper, more streamlined than recording two cameras simultaneously, one getting horizontal and one getting vertical. So if you know you're going to be shooting primarily horizontal content, but you want to be able to very quickly and easily pull vertical content, OpenGate camera might be worth considering. Then there is one last little addition that is worth considering as well. Sam from B&H, the guy who's actually, he's giving me thumbs up, the guy who's recording this right now, pointed out that actually on any camera body, you can put in frame guides. I shouldn't say everyone, but pretty much everyone I can think of. You can put in frame guides, which means you can shoot horizontally and then just have the camera tell you what your resolution will be if you are, not your resolution, your aspect ratio. It will tell you what your aspect ratio will be if you want to be shooting vertical content. Now granted, this isn't ideal, but it is another workaround if you're planning on shooting vertical content on a mirrorless camera. So you know the content you want to make and you have the gear that you can now shoot it with, so let's do some general tips that are pretty universal for whatever content you're looking to make. Now, first one is composition. Now this is a unique challenge you have to consider for vertical video, but think about where on-screen graphics live on the social platform that you plan to be uploading this on. Because you want to make sure your face or your subject won't be blocked by any of those graphics. Typically, if you're looking at your phone, they're on the right-hand side, so just make sure you don't have important content in places like the right-hand side or the very bottom of the frame where it's probably going to be blocked by other objects. Second tip is to edit brutally. Now, we've all read studies about all of our deteriorating attention spans, but vertical video platforms like Instagram Reels and TikTok really reward content that gets to the point quickly. So a good storytelling rule is to ask yourself, when is the latest I can cut into the scene or sequence, and when is the soonest I can cut away from it? Now, this applies to all editing, but for vertical video especially, you have to be cutthroat in trimming any unnecessary fat. Tip number 3 is to lean into the vertical nature of the video. You can actually use the constraints of the framing to possibly spur creativity. Like, as an example, what is a creative comedic reveal you could do that the aspect ratio allows that wouldn't work horizontally? Or think about how you might frame your subjects in the frame. For instance, if you have like 5 people, and you want them all to fit in the frame, you'll have to shoot much further away. That could negatively impact certain things as well. Whereas if you have 1 or 2 people in the frame, it generally works a little bit better. So think about ways that you can actually lean into the vertical nature to your advantage. And finally, number 4 is just to experiment. We at B&H can attest to the fact that algorithms are fickle and esoteric beasts, and so, especially if you're just getting started, try different structures and templates to see what clicks. But at the same time, and I do realize that this is a little contradictory, a lot of content creators can tell you that sometimes it's not until the 23rd reel you do that the algorithm gods finally deem it worthy and it blows up. So creating vertical video for social platforms can honestly feel like screaming into the void quite often, but there's also moments where it feels very creatively satisfying, and it can still be an opportunity to utilize the tools of filmmaking to create content that is still very engaging and interesting. And so we hope you gained something from some of these tips, but please, if you've made your own vertical video and you have some tips we didn't mention, shout out in the comments below. And if you really like this video, maybe we'll do, I don't know, like an advanced tutorial on specific brain rot content. So make sure you are subscribed to B&H and you won't miss that. But until that video, I'm Nick with B&H. Stay creative.